Hi, this is Ed with DFG Hosting and several other places. I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to install Evolution-Xtreme. I'm going to do two different methods of an install. Both will be rather simple. Just try to follow along. It'll go pretty quick. The first thing you want to do is sign into your cPanel, and on DFG Hosting or Host Daemon, you do have the option to use Softaculous for one-click install. And what we'll do here is click on Portals, click on Evolution-Xtreme, and click on Install. We do want it in the HTTP. Want to use my regular thing here. This is the directory. If you don't want to install it into a subdirectory, then erase this, and it will go into your main directory. It doesn't matter what the database name is. You can pick whatever you want to. You can leave the rest of this blank. I'm going to pick a different username and password. That'll be my email, and my admin URL will be killigan.net. And I can email this information to myself, so at killigan.net. So I'll just install. And that way I know what I'm what I used to install. I may have forgot later. And once you're done, you can just go to your site and it's installed. What you can do from here is you have to set up an admin account, which you don't need to set up the admin account in this situation. The admin account is already been set up. What we actually need to do is create our first user. But I'll go ahead and go in here and sign into my admin panel. And what I'm going to do is, I can do this two ways. I can go and register on the site, or I can just go into the Your Account module, and I can click on Add New User, and then I can enter my information. And my password. We'll just use that. I'll just add the new user. And so I'd have one new user, and I can go to the home page now. I can log in as a regular user. And since I'm the first user and the admin, by default, you know, I should be good and have promote myself to an administrator. So I would want to add myself to that group. That's in a completely different tutorial. The benefit here is that we've created our account, we've installed, and now we can go on to the configuration, which is in another tutorial. Now, if you don't like your install and you want to get rid of your install, which is perfectly fine, you would go back into Softaculous, and then you would go into All Installations, and you would find your install, and just click X, click Remove, click OK. Now what this is going to do is it's going to delete everything, and then we can go back to our main control panel. Now we will want to go into our file manager here and make sure that this file gets removed. For some reason it's not, it doesn't get deleted because it's an XML file. Now everything's out of there. We do want to check our database to make sure that that the database is gone, which the database is gone. So while we're here in the database, we're going to create a database, and we're just going to call this Xtreme. And the reason why is because we are going to do a manual install next. So we have the database created. Now we just need to create a user, and I'm just going to use the same name just for general purposes. I will generate a password. I'll say I copied it. I'll use that. Then what we want to do is we want to go back and we're going to add that user to that database. Just click Add, click All Preferences here, or All Privileges. make changes, click go back. Now that user is attached to that database. I do need to keep that information, so I need to find my notepad over here so I can know what that is. I need to paste it in somewhere. Let's grab this notepad here. That's the password we just created. We will save this information here. That's the database name. And we're going to want that information. We'll just save that for later. An important thing, if you're doing a fresh install, is once you've created your database, you want to go into phpMyAdmin. You want to do this before you do anything else. You want to click on the database you just created, and you want to go to Operations. The reason why is by default it's going to create the database with a Latin 1 suite of CI correlation. You want to change that to a UTF-8 general CI. This will ensure that you don't have invalid or crazy characters later on. So once that's been done, you can go ahead and get out of there. We can go ahead and get out of the file manager for now. And then we'll grab the latest download from the Evolution-Xtreme.com website, nowhere else. The reason is it's because this has the most up-to-date information. It actually grabs it from the repository, which makes it a lot easier for us to manage, make sure that it is up to date, and that way we don't have any issues with having outdated information on a clean install. So we want to make sure that we get that information out there in the right files. Now we just want to unzip it. In this case, the only thing we really need is this public HTML folder. You can grab the other stuff if you need it, but for the tutorial we're just going to grab the public HTML file, and we're just going to unzip it, and then we're going to rezip it. If you're on a server that does not use cPanel, or that has a host that doesn't allow you to unzip files on your server, then you're just going to have to live with uploading everything manually. Now, this is the public HTML folder. These are all the files you need for Evolution-Xtreme. We need to open our site in an FTP program. I use IPSwitch. And we'll just do that there. And this is our public HTML. Has nothing but a blank htaccess file in it currently. This is considered the root of the server. This is considered the public HTML, which would be your home directory. And what we need to do is we need to grab that this public HTML. If you're on a server that does not allow uploading a zip file, you would basically just upload the contents of this folder into this folder. In our case, we don't have that misfortune, so to make this easy, you just go name this public HTML, which it already is. But if you're doing this with something else, has the same principle. Just open the file, highlight everything inside the folder, and then zip it up. And we want to make sure that it is a zip file. We'll test the archive. We'll get that part done. Okay, once it's zipped up, all we're going to do is take this public HTML and we're going to upload it into the same directory that the public HTML folder's in. And that'll just take a second, depending on your upload speed. We don't need this file anymore. Now we can get that closed out. Now that we just need to go back into our file manager when the download is, or the upload's finished. Want to go up a directory so we're in the root. We're going to highlight the public HTML file. We're going to click extract. We're uploading it. If you notice, this is home, /home, /kill again, the next directory. If you look here, just so you know, if you go in here, then it's /public HTML. So to extract this file into that folder correctly, we just type public HTML. Just like that, and click extract. So now everything's extracted, everything's in here, and then all we need to do is go to killigan.net or yoursite.net. Not your site, but your domain name. And the reason why I said that is because so many people actually try your site. But you just want to go to your domain name /install.php. And then you go to step 1, then go to step 2. You'll have this file missing. It actually exists. It's in the folder. It's just called, right now it's called evo.htaccess, evo.htaccess, which we're going to change those in just a minute. And get those the way we want them. Go ahead and go on to step 3. This is where we need our database name, username, and password. And this is our database name. This is our database username. It is a local host. Most cPanel servers are local host. Some companies like 1&1, GoDaddy, and so on use external servers, which slow things down. But you would have to get that information to put in there for your host name. Just paste your password in there. You can change these if you prefer. I'm leaving them default. You do have two options, MySQL, MySQLi. If you don't know how to use MySQLi, just use MySQL, click Confirm Data. Then go to step 4, step 5, and then configure site. At this point, skip the configuration. It's not needed, and then go to your home directory, and your site's installed. Now, once that's done, you do want to go into your, I didn't mean to close that, I have to go back here. You do want to highlight your install folder and your install.php, and we want to delete both of those. And then we want to go in and click on that, and then we're going to create our admin account. And now at this point you can create a separate admin and from your user. If you want your first user to be the same as your main admin, so you have the same login info for your user side and your admin side, that's fine. Just leave this checked yes. If you want to create a separate user for your user account, just click no. I'm going to go with yes. Just click submit. Now you just want to go down here and you want to clear this view log. It's just letting you know that you created an admin account. Just go backwards. And then you can go in here and you can change the style. This one's a little bit nicer layout. And your site's installed. One of the things you want to do is delete this right off the bat, get it out of there, so people don't go directly into your admin. Now, your site's installed, everything's done, and you don't really need to do anything now except configure the website. So, those are the two basic ways to install. Now, somebody had this problem the other day, and since I have a few more minutes, we'll do a completely separate install. Let's just assume that our site is fine, but we can't use the installer because of PHP version. There's issues with installing it. We're just having trouble. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and We'll delete the, we'll just grab that. I'll grab that out of there. Let's go ahead and get rid of the phpMyAdmin here. Go in here, go into our database, and what we'll do is I'll just highlight everything. We'll just check all. We'll drop it all. Now we have nothing in our database. Now, we do have our config file, but we were having issues. So what we want to do here is we're gonna have to we're gonna have to edit this file and make sure that we connect it to the database. Now we've already created the database. We know the username and password. In this file, you would actually add your local host or wherever your database host is located, your database name, your database username, and then your database password. And that's what you would use here. And then you would just save that file and you would just upload it to the root of your to the public HTML folder. And if you go to your website, and I'm just going to go here real quick and let you know there's no information here. So what we need to do is import the database. Well, the default database is actually inside the install folder. So you go in here and you would have this install SQL. Now what we would want to do is go back into our phpMyAdmin, and we want to select the database that we're working with, and then we want to just click on import. And what we're going to do is we're just going to browse for this file. It's going to be my downloads right here, public XML, install SQL, and we're just going to click go. So we can import the database. Now we can go here, and we're fine. Now we have to create our admin account and everything again. A lot of people have said that they had issues with they've had issues with the getting errors with the database not connecting properly, or whatever the issue may be. So for example, if I had this information here wrong, and I'll just add a 2 on here, just for the sake of this. If I had the wrong information in here, and I try to go to my website, I'm actually going to get this error. So if you see that you can't get on here, or the MySQL version you're trying to use is not supported, please ask your host to upgrade or switch hosts. This was because a long time ago that was an issue. This will be changed in upcoming releases because that's not the issue. The only issue is that you don't have the right information in your config.php file. So we just want to make sure that you have the right information. And when you do have the right information, your site will load just fine. So that's just so everybody understands that that's what you need. Once right after a fresh install, sometimes you'll get different errors. A lot of it's because of cookies, which you can watch this configuring Evolution-Xtreme video after this one. But if you need to, you can always go into the includes folder, go into the cache folder, and you will have all these files in here. These top 3 files you want to keep. Everything that says Zend in front of it, you can highlight and just click delete and get rid of it. And it's not a bad idea to do right after a fresh install. That way everything can recache, especially if you were logged into the admin or so on, or you messed up your install and you needed to go backwards. So that is in a nutshell how to install Evolution-Xtreme. 3 different ways. unless you're using DFG hosting or host daemon. There is not an auto installer with any other host, so you will need to use option 2 or 3. If you do need anything, let us know. And I hope this video helps. If you need anything or have any suggestions, please let me know. Thank you, and have a great day.